You've gotten so much done, economic policy, foreign policy, naming judges, and in the face of all of this resistance, first you had the resistance from inside your own government. You had the FBI working with the Hillary Clinton campaign. She paid for the dossier. They used it to help entrap your campaign. Then you had the media piling on. Then you had an impeachment trial with no crimes. The articles of impeachment were abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Then you had China throw the curveball at you with the virus. Democrat mayors and governors refusing to stop crime and vandalism. This is all your first term. What was most surprising to you as you look toward this new election? What was most difficult and most surprising for you in this last 3.5 years, Mr. President?
And by the way, when they say abuse of power on impeachment, that was it was a phony, fake impeachment. It was a disgrace. On a phone call, there was an absolutely perfect phone call.
Right.
I'm the only one to get impeached on a perfect phone call. I like a perfect phone call, and I get impeached because of the level of hatred. But when they say abuse of power, the abuse of power is that I get everything done. I'm going to have over 300 judges by the end of the first term. Nobody's ever seen that before. I'm going to have 2 Supreme Court judges, justices, and we'll have literally over 300 judges, including Court of Appeals. We've done things that nobody's ever done. The tax cuts, the regulation cuts, ANWR. Look at ANWR. They couldn't get ANWR done. Ronald Reagan couldn't get it done. Bush's nobody could get it done, and I got ANWR done.
Against you. There was still a coup against you, is my point. Where is John Durham, Mr. President? Is he? Where is John Durham? We know that there was criminality.
I hope he's doing a great job, and I hope they're not going to be politically correct, and I hope they do what? Because the fact is, this was President Obama knew everything. Vice President Biden, as dumb as he may be, he knew everything, and everybody else knew everything, Maria, and you know it. And Comey and Brennan and Clapper, they all were terrible, and they lied to Congress, and they want to put Flynn in jail, and he didn't lie because the FBI said he didn't lie, and we just found that out. You know, it was only Mueller that said he lied. And they said he didn't lie, and they're trying to destroy that man's life, and other people that got in trouble that did nothing by comparison, and in many cases nothing or nothing in comparison. They spied on my campaign, which is treason. They spied both before and after I won. Think of that. Using the intelligence apparatus of the United States to take down a president, a legally elected president, a duly elected president of the United States. It's the single biggest political crime in the history of our country, and I hope they're doing a job. I hope they're not going to be politically correct and say, well, you know, we want to go let's get the lower guys that forged the documents going into FISA. Let's just get a couple of the lower guys. I hope they're not going to be. Bill Barr can go down as the greatest attorney general in the history of our country, or he can go down as just an average guy. It depends on what's going to happen.
Do you want to see a special counsel put in place to ensure that the American people find out what took place here? We know that there was an FBI agent who actually changed documents, changed evidence. We know that there was lying to the court, lying to the Congress, leaking to the media. If you do not win in November, we're not going to hear another word about this. So should AG Barr put in a special counsel to ensure that this is...
They'll probably cancel it out, almost definitely, and it's a shame. It's a shame, but we caught him. Look, we caught him. Carter Page, they just used him to spy on the campaign. Others they used to spy on the campaign. It's a disgrace, and it can either be unbelievable. They don't need a special counsel. First of all, they have a special counsel working, and they have Durham working, so they don't need another special counsel. We've had enough special counsels, and frankly, everybody knows if you didn't have one bit of evidence from what you already know from reading the newspapers, they're all guilty as hell. The insurance policy, where in case she loses, we've got an insurance policy, we're going to go and take them out. You know that. That's what that meant. That was with Strzok and Page, the two lovers, the two great lovers that got caught. I hope everybody.
Yes. Do you think the Mueller
that.
report was the Mueller investigation just a cover-up for what they had done? Because the Mueller investigation, we're getting all of the documents now where we're getting this declassification of documents. And so we know, oh, yes, they lied to the Senate. Oh, yes, they lied to the FISA court. All of this stuff was available when Mueller was doing the investigation. So how come he didn't unearth any of this? Was that just an opportunity to just have all of the documents frozen as a cover-up for what they did to you?
Because they were only interested in anything having to do with Trump, even though they knew all of this stuff. Strzok and Page, their text message were all deleted by Mueller. Mueller went in himself and he lied to Congress because he said he didn't apply for a job to head the FBI, and he did. And we have absolute proof of that. He came in looking to run the FBI early on. The following day, he was given the job as the special prosecutor. I call it prosecutor because it's not a counsel. They say special counsel. It's really a prosecutor. So he was given the just. I want to be more accurate. And with all of that, that they did, think of it. They spent $48 million plus. You don't even know what they spent. Looked at everything. They looked at my taxes, I'm sure. They looked at everything. With all of that, no collusion. I have a friend who's a very sophisticated man, one of the most successful people. You know him very well. He said, you have to be the most honest person in the world to escape the greatest witch hunt ever perpetrated in the history of our country, to go over every document, every phone call, everything you've ever done. And they say, no collusion. I did nothing wrong. They said, I never knew you were that honest. He said, you must be the most honest man in the world. And so then they take it down and they send it to New York. Well, listen, we couldn't find anything. Let's send it into New York, into the Democrat lion's den. So they play games there for years. It's a disgrace. What's going on in this country, we've got to stop it. We've got to stop it. And we're getting close.
But, Mr. President, we know.
It's a disgrace.
But, Mr. President, we know that the FBI lied to the Senate in February of 2018. Christopher Wray was running the FBI, Mr. President. Is Christopher Wray hiding all of this stuff and protecting the FBI? Should he step down?
So Christopher Wray was put there. We have an election coming up. I wish he was more forthcoming. He certainly hasn't been. There are documents that they want to get and that we have said we want to get. We're going to find out if he's going to give those documents, but certainly he's been very, very protective. He was put there for good reason. He was chosen by a certain person, and I said, go ahead, put whoever you want. I'm so honest that I said you could put anybody you want. Let's see how Wray turns out. He's going to either turn out one way or the other. But I'll tell you, Bill Barr and Durham have a chance to be Bill Barr has a chance to be the greatest of all time. But if he wants to be politically correct, he'll be just another guy.